It's a rational transaction. One life for billions.
Gordon's alive.
Flash! Flash, I love you! But we only have 14 hours to save the Earth!
Hey, reflection, I really like you. Don't want your friends. Hey man, I think it's pretty funny given who I am. Nothing can stop me. I'm living in a single player game. Oh, you can't stop me. You can't stop me. It's a party for one.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Rational Transaction. I'm your favorite host, Caleb Dirksen.
I'm your other favorite host, Alexander Peters. And this is a show where we watch Flash Gordon once a week for a year and we talk about it and anything else that kind of piques our interest within that week.
1 year plus. Yeah, it started out as just watching Flash Gordon, and then when that Flash Gordon well started to run dry, it's just become a general purpose media podcast.
Here's the thing though, okay? That well runs dry for me every other episode. Then I kind of pick up something new and I'm like, oh, this is something interesting that I didn't notice before. Or like, I've got different theories. I've got some stuff about this movie still worth talking about, I think. This is, what is this, watch number 8 or 9?
I think it is 9.
9. Wow. Okay. Does that mean for a 10th episode we try to get a guest on?
Oh, yeah, special. Do you think we can get Topple?
Oh, entirely possibly that we don't get to do that.
Do you think we can pull Topple or Brian Blessed or
Not in a
Sam
week.
J. Jones?
Not with a week's notice, I tell you. That we can't do.
I got him on LinkedIn.
Yeah? Yeah. You found him?
I know what I was going to say.
What were you
I
gonna
said, you know
say?
what the problem with the podcast is right now? You know what the main core problem is?
A great way to
you-
start every episode to a podcast is discussing its problems, but go on.
I'm going to tell you what the problem is me and you, we're not adversarial. I say something, you agree. You say something, I agree.
Yep.
Our takes are too similar. I think a good podcast needs tension.
No, Caleb,
It
you're
needs
fucking
hard-
wrong.
It needs, there it is. We gotta dig into the. I think we have to work in these next few episodes to separate ourselves and
Okay.
hit ourselves against each other.
So we start this off by you need to shave your head.
Son of a bitch, I'll kill you. You don't. As a white man in his late 20s, the only thing I have left is my hair.
I know. Oh, it hurts. It hurts. So
I walk around, I see. No offense to our bald listeners, but as a gentleman with hair, I know it's a ticking clock.
Yeah.
I know it's a ticking clock. I think, Alexander, a good way to start this for our listeners is I think we should give our listeners a little heat check, because maybe they don't see our opinions of Flash Gordon as valid if they don't know what our opinions on other movie/media properties are.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, like if we are big fans of, if I love Shrek 2 and you hate Shrek 2, how can you even consider my opinion as valid?
Well, I mean, there's always looking outside of your own opinions, because your no opinion exists in a vacuum. That doesn't mean that yours is the only right one, but I see where you're coming from. You hit me up before we started recording to get a list of 10 flicks, 5 that I really like and 5 that I didn't, and see if you could suss out which are which, right?
I think I know you pretty well, but I also think you have a lot of taste that I think, especially in our early development years, our taste moved in different circles.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think let's do it kind of one by one. You give me a title, and I'll say, do you hate it or do you love it? And then you throw it back at me, and let's just go back and forth.
I like that.
And then at the end, you have to rate them to see 1 to 10.
Okay. Cool. This might take up a good half the podcast because we're going through 20 movies right now.
Let's do it.
And if I know us, we'll probably go on tangents on some of these things.
That doesn't sound. And maybe we'll fight. Maybe the adversary will come back.
Caleb, maybe we'll fight.
Maybe we'll fight. It's the promise of the podcast that keeps on giving.
Yeah. Do you wanna lead this thing off, or do you want me to go first?
No, I'll go first.
All right.
Okay. The first one I picked is I've got a list here. I gotta mix them up because I categorize them. Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Rogue One. Now, see, I feel like this is a trick because this is a love letter. People who like Star Wars like Rogue One as a rule of thumb. But oh boy, I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm just gonna. I think you like Rogue One.
That is incorrect. I do not like.
Don't like Rogue One because, like, in my mind, I
since-
was thinking, like, is it because of the Darth Vader scene at the end?
It's because the Darth Vader scene at the end.
Yeah, okay,
It made
that
me
makes
mad.
sense. Yeah,
I've been outspoken for my Jedi hate.
yeah. So he's a Sith. So there's that. Here's the
lightsaber wielder.
but it's the perspective of seeing that Sith from soldiers doesn't do anything for you. It's not like that's terrifying to these rebel soldiers and they're getting slain one by one.
He does the same thing in A New Hope. We know he's scary in A New Hope. He kills a bunch of people.
Yeah, but this is it's fine.
It's the same thing again.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
I'm sorry. See, this is what we need. We need the conflict.
Yeah, every time you
feel
do something good, you gotta just compliment yourself about it, right? It's just like, yes, this is good.
You feel the tension, listener?
Yeah.
You feel the drama boiling under the surface?
I fell for the trap. I should have known right away because I guessed what it was immediately after. But damn it.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Give me one.
The hit
gonna be hard.
early 2000 film Cats and Dogs.
Wow. Is this where they're spies?
This is where the dogs are spies and they are trying, like, each human pet, like the dogs are adversaries against the cats. The cats are developing a secret formula to turn all humans allergic to dogs, so that they can't have dogs anymore as pets, and cats are the only pets left available. Tell me, Caleb, do I like or do I not like this movie?
I think you like Cats and Dogs.
Cats and Dogs lore building alone is worthy of an Oscar. Okay,
I knew
this
it.
film is phenomenal. Jeff Goldblum is in it. He's a scientist that develops like a cure for dog allergies, and the cats are trying to hijack that cure and turn it into allergy inducer. And it's just the cast is phenomenal. Tobey Maguire is the main dog in this movie.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good career.
Mm-hmm.
Tobey Maguire's got a great career, man.
Yes, he has. This is Cats and Dogs. Didn't think I was gonna bring that one out, did you?
Hey, maybe that's okay. That's maybe due for a rewatch now.
Yeah. Don't watch the sequel.
Okay.
The sequel's hot garbage.
Well, I mean, as with most things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my number 2. Let's see where you think I stand on this. Venom with Tom Hardy. Venom, the superhero movie with Tom Hardy.
See, here's the thing. Now, we're doing taste, right? This isn't objectively good or bad movies, right?
This is, do I like it or do I hate it? Because I can get, afterward, I'll give you my objective analysis.
I feel like Venom is a fun movie, and you're the type of person that is able to look past a movie's flaws to enjoy the fun in it. So I think you enjoy Venom.
I do not like Venom.
Fuck! No! I'm so bad at this, Caleb.
It's okay. It's okay. See, that's why I knew when I was picking these, I said, I can get him. I can trip him up.
You bastard.
I don't know what to say about Venom. I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't
can't get on board with it. I will say, it is fun.
Yeah.
But I don't like it.
There is oh man, what's the name of this movie? Oh, yes.
I'll keep it in.
There's a movie. Have you watched Upgrade? Came out in 2018.
Upgrade. What is that?
It's basically Venom, but like everything is in the execution. It's just a lot more improved. The idea is, a man gets an implant in him, which is like an AI. As he gives it access to his motor functioning abilities, and the more control he gives it, the more impressive he does at doing things. So like it acts like Venom does in the sense that it has this extra consciousness inside his body, and they have that banter and all that stuff, and this other consciousness is making him do badass things. But the entire time,
like Limitless.
yeah, kind of. But the entire time he's giving it more motor functions. He's like, the whole thing. The entire question of that movie is, do I give it full control of my body or not? And what happens if I do? And it's executed really, really well, and I really enjoyed that. And if you want to watch Venom, but probably objectively a better movie, check out Upgrade. Came out in 2018.
I will actually check that out.
My second movie, Jim Carrey's The Mask.
Oh, I feel like this might be a trick question because I know you love Jim Carrey so much.
I definitely grew up with all of his movies, yeah.
You love Jim Carrey, but The Mask is also The Mask. Oh man, I feel like this might be a trick, but I know you ride or die for Jim. I'm gonna say you love The Mask.
No, I fucking hate
The
Mask. I watched it as a kid, and it gave me such gross feelings every time he put that thing on. And when the bad dude put on the mask as well, it's just like, ugh, I did not enjoy it. The dog puts on the mask. It's just such a gross... and a lot of the humor is slapstick. And I feel... Originally, I looked into this actually recently because I watched it again, and I still had those grody feelings watching it. This movie was based off of a horror comic. And
you can tell. It feels like it.
Yeah, and they like leaned into slapstick humor to appeal to a broader audience, but originally they wanted to lean into like a Freddy Krueger horror type film, and that would have been an entirely different vibe. And then they cast Jim Carrey and went to comedy instead.
Yeah, it rides that line. I know you were a big Jim Carrey appreciator. I don't buy on to Jim Carrey as much until I watched The Truman Show, and that changed my mind about Jim Carrey.
He does, like, Eternal Sunshine's pretty good, too. I really liked Jim Carrey growing up because my dad loves Jim Carrey, and he and I watched all those movies together. I've kind of fallen off the Jim train in my adult years. I still enjoy a good Ace Ventura. But, like, The Truman Show, Eternal Sunshine, those are my favorites of his.
You strayed from the gym. You are now in a gymless place.
Yeah, exactly.
Once
I watched the Netflix special, Jim and Andy, it was just like, man, what a dick.
What is Jim and Andy?
It's his Netflix special documentary. It's interesting and fascinating to watch as an actor. But he played Andy Kaufman in the Man on the Moon movie. Also a really good movie. But Andy Kaufman was Jim Carrey's hero as a kid. Who was familiar with the comedian?
Andy Kaufman, a little bit.
Yeah, he's basically a comedian famous for pushing boundaries and doing jokes that nobody thought was funny, but he thought was funny, so he did them anyways. But yeah, Jim's sitting on a beach meditating one day, and he saw Andy Kaufman show up to him in a vision, and kind of he imagined that he was being like Andy was inside him the entire time he was on set, so he was like just Andy the entire shoot, and so he was an asshole to everybody. But he treats it as like this huge meditative experience, this wondrous thing, and I'm like, but you were still an asshole to people this entire time.
Wait, so he becomes an asshole as an experiment?
Not even as an experiment. He truly believed that he was Andy Kaufman during that entire shoot. And the director had to like write him a letter and like say, to make an appointment to talk with Jim. There wasn't a moment on set throughout the entirety of shooting where Jim was Jim. He was always Andy Kaufman or Andy's other character, Tony... I don't remember what the last name was, who was an even bigger asshole, who was a drunk bastard. So the director set up an appointment with him. They went out for coffee, and he's talking, and he's like, "You're still Jim under everything, right?" And he's Jim in that moment when he set up that appointment. And Jim's like, "Yeah, I am." He's like, "Can you possibly do that for the film?" And Jim's like, if you want Jim to play Andy, I can, but it won't be the same." And the director's like, "No. I want the best that can happen. I just needed to know you were still in there somewhere." It was that bad.
Man, method actors are built different. Alexander, you as an actor and living in Vancouver, the world capital of acting.
Hollywood North, yeah.
Method? Do you just give yourself to the role?
I honestly, here's the thing about fucking method acting. This is going way off topic. But method acting is not an excuse to be a dick. It's not an excuse to be an asshole. 100% you can give yourself to a role, but you need to be able to clock out at the end of the day. You need to still be you. You're not if you go into a foundry and you're making castings all day every day, you don't come home and start melting your furniture into other things. You can still punch out and be a person, a functioning human being. And if you can't like separate that, you're not a good actor. You're just it's frustrating to see stories like that. Like,
Just say this might be an offensive question, but if you can't turn it off at the end of the day, maybe you're a bad actor.
see, that's the thing. If you need to stay in it that long to be able to maintain that, and you can't turn the switch off, it's not. Yeah, it's uncomfortable for everybody, and it's not fun to work with somebody like that. Sorry, that was my movie. Was The Mask?
Good Jim Carrey discourse.
Yeah.
We love it. Okay.
What was your next
Okay.
film?
My third pick is The Big Lebowski.
You love The Big Lebowski. I know that for a
love
fact
The
about
Big
you.
Lebowski.
Yeah, that's not even a question.
I love. Yeah, you knew that without skipping a beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
You've recommended it to me
resonate-
so many times.
I can't. I watch that movie at least once a month. at
That
this
might be
point.
next year's movie.
Oh man, I would watch The Big Lebowski forever. That film is just unabashedly one of the best. The Coen brothers, head and shoulder above almost every other director in the world. I don't know if you've ever watched Once Upon a Time in the West. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
I haven't. No.
I'd recommend it highly. It's very fun and very good.
Big Lebowski is very good.
That's easy number 3. Had to give you an easy W.
Yeah. The 2007 animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh man, this is is this where Raphael has like a does he have like a metal suit? And
Yeah,
he has
metal
an alter
suit.
ego?
He kind of goes off on his own and becomes a vigilante.
And he fights with Leonardo because Leonardo thinks that Raphael is.
Yeah, they have an epic fight. There is these statues that become alive. That's in the final fight. All that stuff. Yeah.
Interesting. Wow, this is. I think you like TMNT from 2007.
You're incorrect.
Wow!
Yeah.
Did not see that one coming at all.
I hated this one. The whole like Shredder was barely an influence. It was just the Shredder's minions, and I wanted to see more Shredder. And that was my perspective watching it as a kid.
That's very cool. I just remember Raphael has a very cool metal suit.
Yeah.
And I think there's like some cool fight montage.
I had the video game when I was a kid for GameCube. It wasn't bad, but like I didn't like the movie.
Interesting. These are good picks. You're really throwing me a lot.
Yeah, I was trying to find some deep cuts.
Okay. Speaking of deep cuts, how do you think I feel about South Park?
South Park?
South Park, the animated television show.
Do I get meta with it and track how many goods and bads you've done? Or see, I haven't watched South Park much myself, so like I feel like you're and I've only said you like things so far, and I'm 2 outs and 1 hit. I think
taking the strategic approach.
Yeah. I think South Park's probably a guilty pleasure of yours. I can see that.
It is not. I do not like South Park at all.
Okay. That's a bit of a relief to hear. I'm not gonna lie.
I was gonna say I have to say this. I know there's gonna be a lot of people in the audience who are gonna get mad at me for this. I find South Park like annoying. Like I know people say it's funny, and I've seen South Park stuff that I've laughed at. The voices kill me. I can't.
Yeah.
The voice. It's like chalk. It's like nails on chalkboard, and it makes me shrivel up when I hear the voices. It's too much.
Yeah.
I can't take it. My armor isn't thick enough.
Every now and then I get a short in my YouTube Reels or something like that, and that's enough for me. I don't need to watch full episodes of these things.
So yeah, let's keep it as a clip show. Let's not expand upon. But yeah, no, you had a good instinct there.
Okay. Disney's A Goofy Movie.
Oh, you love a Goofy movie. We talked about this the other day.
Oh, did we?
You love a Goofy movie.
Did I say it on the
We did
podcast?
I remember. We might have talked about it on the podcast. You were talking about how great the Goofy movie was.
Oh, shit.
You love
Okay.
it.
Yeah, Goofy Movie is one of my top 10 of all time. It's so good. It's such a good film. The soundtrack goes so hard, 110% the entire way through. It's just a dad trying to make friends with his son. It had no right to be as good as it was. One of the best movies of all time.
It is a really good flick.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I remember about a Goofy movie is there's a scene with a waterbed in it. Am I correct?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, that is the point where Max decides he's going to be a little backstabber, and he changes the map so that they wind up going to L.A. instead of the pond where they're going to go fishing. Lake Destiny.
It's a classic, like pre cell phone plot is new map.
Yeah.
New
Yeah,
map, new signs.
He literally erases the pencil mark leading to their destination and just redraws it somewhere else. And that is when his dad decides to trust him to be the navigator of the road trip.
Do you think cell phones have ruined movie and TV plots?
Why
Let
do
me
you
give an
think?
example.
Why do you think so many films take place in the 80s and the 90s?
I love technology, right? As someone who is on his computer way too much, I love technology. But I love in Seinfeld when people try and meet up and they both go to the same place but are like 10 minutes apart, and they just can't figure it out, and there's like a whole dilemma because of it.
Yeah.
In the modern day, it's like, hey, where are you? I'm here. Coming over. You
Or
know?
if I lose my wife in a store, I can be like, what aisle are you down?
Where are you? Or, you know, back in the day, you had to walk up to the front desk. You say, hey, can I use your microphone? My wife, could you please come to the front?
Yeah.
Can you please pick up your husband?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cell phone. Okay. My next pick. I'm trying to, now I've lost track of the goods and bads. My next pick. This one might get you. Disney Plus's She-Hulk.
You hate She-Hulk.
I don't hate She-Hulk.
What?
That's, I knew it was going to get you so
How?
good.
How the fuck? Did you watch the whole show?
I watched the whole show.
I was okay with like the first like half of it, but then I hated I hated the ending so much.
I really did not like the ending of She-Hulk. I thought the meta, even though it's true to the comics, I'm kind of sick
Spoilers,
of that.
I guess.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, cut that out. Sorry, spoilers for She-Hulk. I actually really like the show.
Really?
A lot of people have like venomous hatred of it. I think it's actually, I wouldn't say I put it in a love category.
Yeah.
I'd say I like it.
I didn't have a problem with the She-Hulk character for like the entire show. And then the writers just it just derailed at the end, and I couldn't get on board with how it ended.
It could definitely, don't get me wrong, it definitely could have been a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think some people, I think I've seen a lot of people online treat it like it's like sort of, you know, the worst thing ever made.
Yeah.
And to them, I would say, insert property here already exists.
I did.
And then
really,
we'll edit the joke in later.
I did you ever see? I did really like Miss Marvel. Just want to put that out there. That was
I
really good.
haven't seen Miss Marvel, but I've heard good things.
It gives me high school Spider-Man vibes, which is very cool. Okay. I also have a Star Wars movie on here. The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi. Which one is The Last Jedi?
It's the second one in the threequel trilogy.
In the threequel. Okay. Oh man, because I get them mixed. I struggle to separate them.
Yeah. It's the one where Luke Skywalker is introduced.
And and they kill Snoke, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you like The Last Jedi.
It's my favorite of that trilogy.
Wow!
Yeah. Yeah.
This is crazy.
That is probably the most shit on Star Wars movie that came out at that time, and I loved it. I really enjoyed that film. I realize it's all bullshit, and the action sequences were like with Rey and I don't even remember his name. The Sith Lord in it. Ben, when they're fighting all of the Inquisitors and stuff like that. that I get that technically it wasn't a good movie, but I liked it was so different. It wasn't just bigger Death Star. It was there was a point where a ship went into hyperspace and blew another ship apart. I'd never seen that before. That looked so cool when it happened.
That was a stunning scene.
Yeah.
It was really gorgeous.
And I really didn't mind the tangent of going to another planet with just random stuff. It was Star Wars. I like seeing more backdrop. I really enjoyed that movie.
That's the end where Obi-Wan or is it? No, Luke faces off against Kylo Ren. And in all the walkers, right? And they're all blasting Luke, but he's doing a force projection.
Yeah, and you more. Yeah, that force projection, so cool to watch. Like, I loved all of that. You got to see Luke be a badass. Yeah, I get it. Not my Luke, but like, he was there and it was cool.
I think you're right, though. The art direction in most Star Wars properties is fairly solid.
Mm-hmm. It was. It felt less like less Jedi, and it felt like Space Wizard, and I loved that very much.
Mm-hmm. I do like soft magic a lot. Mm-hmm. I enjoy shows and movies that have soft magic. Like to you, I've always articulated that. I think what I like about someone like Gandalf is that to me, he seems to not even understand the extent of himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know. He's sort of in touch with a cosmic realm, and what that exactly is, there's no specific power level. There's no I have 35 hit points and 10 spell slots like as you would in a Dungeons and Dragons game.
Yeah.
You know, as a character, I find it more interesting when the powers become less well defined.
Mm-hmm.
Even though some people would say that makes it like a Deus Ex Machina.
The idea that, like, when you're constrained to a specific rule set, it also kind of ties your hands as a writer too. It's nice to be able to just be like, pull a J.K. Rowling and be like, this room always appears whenever you need it, and it always has something inside it that you need.
That's nice, and you set that up in the plot early, so you just keep returning to it. You built the Deus Ex Machinas into the script the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
What else? I still have lots of stuff on my list.
Should we just bang these out?
Yeah. Oh no, sorry. I was just looking at my list. I'm getting confused now. I can't keep 10 items straight apparently. The animated television series Futurama.
Oh, you love Futurama.
I love Futurama.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's really good. It's really fun. Everybody loves Futurama.
Yeah, you can't not like it.
Cannot like it. Okay, give me one of yours. That was an easy one.
Yeah, okay. The Christmas movie, The Elf.
The Elf? You mean the Will Ferrell?
Will Ferrell's The Elf. Yeah.
Is there the?
Yeah. Or is it just Elf? I don't know. I thought it was The Elf, but it might be Elf.
The Elf. The Elf makes it sound more sinister. This is so confusing me. I know I'm going to get it wrong. I think you like The Elf.
I do not.
Oh,
I do not like The Elf.
Getting all these wrong. Why do you not like Elf?
It was just it was just awkward. It's just awkward the entire time, and I don't like awkward.
How do you feel about Will Ferrell?
Will Ferrell, I don't like. He's fine. I don't have anything against the guy. He's very comfortable doing scenes I would have a really hard time doing. The dude buys his dad lingerie, and it's really uncomfortable. And I'm just the entire I'm squirming, and I just I don't like stuff like that where I'm squirming.
Oh, quick aside, you know, in the Elf where he touches all the elevator buttons from top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
You know how typically in Canada or America, when you touch the elevator button, it's just always on and you can't deselect it, right?
Yeah.
Is that typically your experience?
Yeah.
You touch an elevator button and you can't. Get this. In Korea, you can deselect all the elevator buttons.
Yo, that's very cool.
So if I press 2 buttons, I can just deselect.
To be fair, I've never tried actually deselecting a button in an elevator before.
Next time you're in a high-rise, deselect.
I'll have to give it a shot. But that's really cool technology.
Also, speaking of cool technology, you know what else the Koreans get right? Every fucking bathroom stall does not have a slit in the door.
Dude.
Come on, America and Canada. We need to get our fucking shit together.
North America is the only area that does that. Everywhere else in the world
It is
doesn't.
psychotic.
Yeah.
I hate going to the bathroom and looking through the half-inch slit in the door so everyone can make eye contact with me. Go to any other country, I'm begging you. No one can see you when you're in the toilet. Why is this not common?
But Caleb, it's for safety in case you fall unconscious while you're sitting on the toilet. People can get under the door and save you.
Oh, man. That's the beauty of the Canadian bathroom stall, is if you fall unconscious, the bathroom stall around you will just collapse away.
Yeah.
It's quick access.
Yeah, exactly. It might as well just be cardboard.
It makes me so mad. I have gone to the washroom in like the deepest, dankest subway in Korea and had like a much more positive experience than going into like a nice office building in Canada. Like, what's going on, people? Let's tighten it up.
Tragedy.
I'm going to war with bathroom manufacturers. Or I guess I'm going to war with, I guess I'm an architect. I'm going to war with architects who spec shitty bathrooms. I'll kill you.
Bathroom architect, Caleb Dirksen.
Bathroom architect, I'll come for you. This should just be common sense. We shouldn't even have to have this conversation.
Okay. Hit me with your next one.
Okay. You did not like The Elf.
I did not like
How
The
do you
Elf.
think I feel about the Gilmore Girls?
I think you like the Gilmore Girls.
I do like the Gilmore Girls.
See, I thought we
I
were
really
choosing
like the
movies. I would have thought of TV shows.
Well, I can tell you yours right now. You love Supernatural.
I like some of it, you know.
You love Supernatural. Don't play court with me.
I did watch
like
the ending.
Gilmore
The ending was
Girls.
hot shit. But go
I
ahead.
don't know if you've ever seen the Gilmore Girls, but I would recommend it very highly.
My sister was trying to get me on that train for a long time, but Janessa has zero interest, and really the only time I watch TV at this point is when Janessa is there with me watching. Otherwise, I'm working on shit.
I would say the Gilmore Girls is very fun. And also the showrunner for Gilmore Girls is now working on the show on, I think, Amazon Prime, The Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Oh, I've heard good things about that one too.
That's a really... Same showrunner, same kind of... it's a different time period, but sort of the style of the show and the way the characters are is very similar.
Okay.
I'd highly recommend.
Cool.
Really good stuff.
All right. I've got one here. The Warriors of Virtue.
The Warriors of Virtue. I don't know what this is.
Okay. It's basically the Ninja Turtles, but with kangaroos and who know kung fu. It's a live action. Came out in the either late 80s or early 90s.
A live action kangaroo fighting film. I think you love this movie.
It's
I
so
think you
damn
love the
good.
lore. I think you love this movie. I think The Warriors of Virtue.
I need a platform to like just be like everyone needs to go and stream The Warriors of Virtue. I don't know where you can find it. I have it on VHS tape. It's so bad. Like it is objectively just not a good movie, but I love it so much.
Virtue.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, each kangaroo represents a different element, and the elements are like water, air, wood, steel, and fire.
So is this just like Avatar?
Not really, because they don't bend these things. They're just weapons are the different colors of the elements.
How do they make it live action?
The like the Ninja Turtles live actions, they had those suits. These are big kangaroo suits.
Oh, people wear kangaroo suits.
Yeah. A kid basically Alice in Wonderland's into a world. He falls down a torrential water spout, and he comes out the other side in a magical world with people who call him like a prophet of some kind, and he has with him a book called The Manuscript. And essentially it's supposed to contain within it the story of how their world is supposed to go, and he is the only one who can read it, apparently, but all he sees is empty pages, and he's defended by the Warriors of Virtue.
Interesting. The wielders of the four elements.
Yeah.
the Arborians,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
bird people,
Yeah.
the Mongo City, the Zarkovians.
Yeah.
Sorry,
It's a
my
good
brain
flick.
flipped over. How do you think I feel about? Oh, I think I've running out of them. How do you think I feel about the Umbrella Academy on Netflix?
I don't think you like the Umbrella Academy.
You nailed me. Wow. I do not like the Umbrella Academy. I don't like shows where one of the biggest plot drivers is characters being kind of dumb. And then they're sort of dumb, and then they just don't get something. And you're like, yeah, but if you guys just had a conversation for 10 minutes, you would figure out the whole plot, that type of movie. It's just rough. I mean, maybe it's accurate to some corporate settings. But if you're a family of superhero siblings, maybe you guys could have like a 15-second briefing at the beginning of every day.
Yeah.
But I guess the theme of the show is their dysfunctional family. Regardless, I do not like it.
How do you think I feel about Disney's Aladdin?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Talking about the animated film.
Yeah, the cartoon that came
Featuring Will Smith.
out. Featuring not Will Ferrell. Robin Williams.
I was going to say Tom Hanks. That's not right. Wow. Okay. I think you like it.
I love Robin Williams.
Uh-oh.
I love Robin Williams, and he is the shining light in this flick. But I watched it so many times as a kid because it was the only movie we had. And it's just, I don't know that I can ever watch it again because of that.
I think I only have 2 more left.
Me too.
And I think you're going to be able to, I guess if we each have 10, it would work like that.
Yeah.
How do you think I feel about the movie Free Guy starring Ryan Reynolds?
Starring Ryan Reynolds. Okay. I have a very strong feeling of how you feel about this movie, but I hope I'm wrong. I think you really didn't like Free Guy.
I really did not like Free Guy.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Is that because I think you might have liked Free Guy.
I had so much fun with that movie. It's a dumb, stupid movie, but I enjoyed it the entire way through, beginning to end.
I don't like. I hate to be this person, but
No, that's fine.
I am enjoying Ryan Reynolds less and less as Ryan Reynolds plays Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ryan Reynolds and fans.
Canadian
Ryan Reynolds.
I didn't enjoy his newest movie that hit Netflix not too long ago with time traveling. He meets his past self. The Adam Project.
Adam Project. Yeah, I don't. Ryan Reynolds is. I'm out on Ryan Reynolds.
That's
Sorry,
fair.
Ryan Reynolds.
But it did have some really good moments. You all of a sudden the Captain America shield's in his arms and you hear the MCU music. That was a good laugh. All that good stuff.
It's decent. I feel like the same way about Free Guy as I do about Ready Player One. Or I feel about, I don't know if you ever watched this show. It's a little more obscure, but the Guardians of the Universe or the Guardians of Justice.
No, I never watched it.
What's that show called? Is it called the Guardians of Justice? Sorry, I want to say some negative stuff about the Guardians of Justice. It's just a Netflix show, but it's a lot of. It's mostly consisting of. It's highly referential to the point where it becomes, I think, detrimental. Just one man's opinion. Don't crucify me, audience.
I will crucify you if I want to.
Yeah, and there's the tension back. Give me your 9th pick.
My 9th pick, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Oof. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. What kind of person are you? Are you the kind of person who likes Harry Potter? What kind of man are you? I think you don't like Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Ding, ding, ding.
Finally, I get one.
I was never a Harry Potter kid. I watched the movies as they came out because they were a huge phenomenon when they did. But yeah, no, I never really was on the hype train for this one. And it's not for lack of what the movie brings you. It does its job pretty well. But I don't have the warm feelings from this one.
Yeah, and we all love a young, beautiful Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
But I think that's a pretty safe bet. I feel the same way.
Mm-hmm. Give me your 10th pick.
My 10th pick is the film Step Brothers, starring Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly.
Now, I don't remember how many you have left of what, but I think you like Step Brothers.
I do like Step Brothers.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah. It's a classic for a reason.
It's a classic for a reason. And my father-in-law hates it so much that we force him to watch it with us. And that's always that's our Christmas tradition.
Mm.
Okay, give me your final one.
Before I give it to you, do you already know if it's good or bad?
I have lost track.
Okay, cool. Tell me if you've heard of it before, but Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind.
Nausicaa, is this an anime?
It is it's a Japanese animated movie, yeah.
Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. I think, not knowing anything about it, and assuming... Well, let me see. What are your tastes like? You like... It's Valley of the Wind. Well, it sounds elemental. And the Warriors of Virtue is also elemental. And the Valley of the Wind could indicate a journey, like the Goofy movie. So you like journeys. But it may also not include Shredder or Splinter. What's his name? Splinter?
Splinter is the trainer. Shredder is the villain.
You like both of them, and you want more of them. So I don't know how much Shredder or Splinter is in it. And I'm not sure I don't think Jim Carrey's in it, so that might be against it. I'm going to say you like Nausicaa in the Valley of the Wind.
Yeah, that's a safe bet. I mean, you took a strange journey to get there, but you got to the right destination.
It's an informed decision.
It's basically the film is the humans have torched the earth, and nature has kind of insects have evolved to be the alpha apex predator, and all these humans live in a place called the Valley of the Wind, and Nausicaa is the main character. And she's basically a scavenger. She goes out to the forest. She collects ancient debris to bring back and use. And there's... I can't even get into it. There's so much happening in this movie. I had to pick a couple movies that, I just wanted to recommend to you specifically that you watch.
I just wanted to gush for a little bit.
Yeah, you got to watch Nausicaa. You got to watch Warriors of Virtue. And you got to watch the Goofy movie. They're great films. But yeah.
Okay, my final pick. How do you think I feel about 1980s The Flash Gordon?
1980s The Flash Gordon. I think you love this movie.
You are correct. I love Flash Gordon.
Wow,
watching it this time. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that little intro to the episode has been going on for 40 minutes, Caleb.
That's good. That's quality podcasting, baby. That's called vamping. I don't know. Maybe because the episode's almost done. Maybe do you want to should we just give each other a 3-minute rundown of how we felt about the
I took so many notes this time around. I have so much I want to say.
Give them to me. Give them to me.
No, you had a thing you were going to say first. Go through yours.
I want to say this film, it felt very mechanical to me. I felt like I was going through the motions like a choreographed dance. I was doing step, 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 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I think a little bit of monotony started to sink in. The ugly head of monotony reared its head.
I feel like I could tell that based on the fact that you chose an activity that took over half the podcast. You didn't have any gas in the tank to discuss this movie that you supposedly love so much.
It sounds like you've got gas in the tank.
I do have some gas.
Why don't you fill me up with your gas?
If I'm ever running out, I can always make more gas. There was always something for me to find. Here is my takeaway this time around. Okay, Flash has a terrible outlook on mental illness.
Interesting.
Yep, it's just horribly unhealthy. On 3 separate occasions throughout this entire movie, which is crazy that this happens, Flash references people's sanity in a derogatory way.
This Ming's a psycho.
This Ming's a psycho.
This Ming's a psycho.
This Ming is a psycho.
You lunatic, he says to Zarkov when he attacks him in the ship. And when he's in this Sky City, which is what it's called, Sky City, with the Hawkmen.
The bird palace?
Yeah, it's called Sky City. This place is an insane asylum when he finds out he has to fight Baron on top of that spike platform. That's just a little insight into Flash as a human being. So maybe he needs to get into some therapy sessions, because gotta take care of yourself, man. That's
Flash, maybe it's time to work on yourself, buddy.
Yeah, he doesn't see much growth throughout the entire film. But
speaking of Bird Palace, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Speaking of Bird Palace, this is something I was thinking about as I was watching the movie this time. Baron wants to do a trial by combat with Flash to, I guess, get free of Prince Voltan. He picks Flash, but, like, what do you think of that choice? Obviously, he hates Flash, but I don't know. How does he know? Like, the only example he's seen of Flash is Flash has beaten him in every encounter so far. He sees Flash beat the shit out of a ton of guys in Ming's throne room.
Mm-hmm.
Then he sees Flash escape from the Arborian prison, and then he sees Flash successfully trick him against the Wood Beast. Isn't going up against Flash, I know it's very cinematic and it's a character moment, but isn't going up against Flash like a really bad idea in Bird Palace?
It is. And the thing is, I think it's
especially when he can pick his opponent.
That's the wildest thing. The fact that he can choose who to fight, and that's just the law. The person defending themselves get to pick anybody to fight. Are there no parameters? Can he pick Ming's daughter, pick her up, and just throw her off the edge of the platform?
Yeah, I'd say, do you have any toddlers who you can wheel out and we'll fight on the? Do you have any malnourished 6-year-olds I can throw off the edge?
He literally says, freedom? "Who do you choose to fight?" And without hesitation, he says, "Him, Flash Gordon." And like, yeah, it is wild that he chooses Flash, but like, it's set up like an ego thing. Like, I've lost this man so many times, I need to prove myself to myself, if anybody. But yeah. It's a weird ruling and a weird system.
I think my favorite moment from this movie, or my favorite line, since we often bring up favorite line, is where he says to Flash, let me pull it up. What does he say? He's, Flash, he's about to fall off the edge. He grabs onto a spike. Flash, scooches down and helps him up. And he looks into Flash's eyes and he says, "Where you go, I follow. Mm-hmm. Everyone listen to me. There is something finer in this galaxy than Ming's Law." That moment hit me so hard this time because last episode we talked about how Flash doesn't have a character arc, and all the character arcs are for Aura, Voltan, and Prince Baron. And seeing Prince Baron go from sort of a, douchebag to Flash lover is really touching.
Yeah, Prince Baron's great. I love this man. And it's really cool to see how he grows by the end. My favorite line this time around was Flash actually talking to Prince Baron as well. Right after Prince Baron calls him a coward. And Flash says, "Let's do it." They're talking about the Wood Beast. Yeah, the Wood Beast challenge there. But I did have one more like topic on this movie I wanted to talk about before we move on to our like ending things. After Flash, Dale and Zarkov go to space. There is not a second in this film where one of them isn't being held captive until the ending.
That's very interesting.
Because the movie is just Flash and friends getting captured and kidnapped over and over and over again. Flash is
getting captured and kidnapped by all the important characters.
Yep, Flash is kidnapped by Zarkov, captured in Mingo City, tries to escape but fails and is executed. He doesn't actually escape of his own volition. He is saved and brought away by Princess Aura and is taken to the Tree Men and kept in a cage there. After he attempts an escape, he's once again captured by the Hawkmen and taken to their home in Sky City. That entire time, the only person to successfully escape captivity is Dale. So she's made a choice. She's got a little bit more autonomy than Flash has at this point. But her and Zarkov are immediately captured by the Hawkmen And from there, they're immediately kidnapped by Ming again. And that is where Dale stays for the rest of the film.
That is, I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about how we reflect so negatively on the characters, lack of autonomy and lack of growth, and maybe that's why.
Mm-hmm. They're just constantly
They're
just different cages with different settings and different backdrops.
And what does that say about society?
What does that say about society, Caleb?
What does that say a society that we live in?
We live in a society.
Sorry for the audio. Just pouring some coffee.
You're not taking a piss?
Audio. Yeah, do a little on mic piss. We do live in a society, and that does make me think that we do live in a society.
I didn't have a favorite character this time around. I just didn't. That was just the reality.
My favorite character, Prince Baron. We've picked Prince Baron 1,000 times, but
yeah, Prince Baron's great.
My least favorite character. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
My least favorite character is Princess Aura's poor, horribly combed out hair. Why do they comb it out so much?
It's too bad. It's a tragedy.
Don't comb it out so much. It's so loose and dry looking.
Yeah.
I'm like, Aura, send some brave men to go die in the galaxy of conditioner for you, please. It has no name. They call it conditioner. Many brave men died to bring it here to us.
I did prep a quiz for you as well. That's 4 questions long. But do you want me to save that for next time, or should I use it?
No, quiz me. Let's. This is a jam-packed episode.
Yeah,
quiz
yeah.
me,
We got a bunch of stuff going on. It's quiz time. Okay, here we go.
Quiz time.
How many lizard men were in the cage with Flash on Arborea?
2.
Yeah, there's 2 inside that cage. Good job. I would not have gotten that one right.
Alt Lizard Man.
Okay. How long do people survive after being stung by the wood beast?
Oh, isn't it minutes? Like 5 minutes?
What's your final answer?
I'm locking it in. 5 minutes, locking it in.
The exact line that gets said is hours or days, depending on your strength.
Oh. That seems pretty good then.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not terrible.
Considering the climax of the movie, they pretty much saved the Earth in 14 hours. I think Flash could have gotten stung and then still gone on to defeat Ming.
Yeah, and then he could have organized his own execution at the end there.
He could have. He could have tricked you, Baron.
Tricked you, Baron.
Tricked you, Baron.
What are Clytus's last words before he is killed?
Agent Zarkov, you will be liquidated for treachery. Is it that?
No.
No, he says da-da-da. He walks in. He says, you will surrender these prisoners. Oh, no. He's talking to Baron. Mm-hmm. He says, address me as Prince Baron. And then Clytus says, no longer. Princess Aura has implicated you on charges of treason.
And then what happens?
And then Baron says, Flash! And then he hits Clytus. And then Flash picks him up and throws him on the spike trap.
You're missing one vital thing there. Baron's...
go ahead. Does Baron say something about Aura? Oh, I know. Clytus gloats about how Aura liked the torture.
That is his last line. Yeah, because...
he says, she's a peculiar thing. I think she quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, interesting girl. I think she found it rather enjoyable. Yeah, I knew you'd get there. I was just like, it'll just go be a minute.
I run through the lines, yeah.
This one will be interesting. Because I feel like I went through a Mandela effect this last time I watched it, and I want to see if it affected you as well.
Bernstein Bears.
Yeah. What color is the nose of Rocket Ajax right after impaling Ming?
Oh, it is yellow.
Ah, wow. Okay, I watched it this time around, and I thought it was green.
I remember it because it contrasts nicely with Ming's red.
Oh,
right?
really? Yeah, because
because you got that nice palette, that red yellow palette, or the red gold palette all the way through.
I saw that, and I'm like, I could have sworn it was green, and then it cuts later, and he's sliding off the end of it, and it becomes green with his blood.
Huh, so there is something finer than Ming's Law in this galaxy.
But that's everything I've got prepped.
Here I have one question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Daizan, as in Ming's great god Daizan, comes from the Japanese language. Do you know what Daizan means in Japanese?
Magic space god?
No, think more of an adjective for Ming.
Oh,
Not merciless.
It's
but
probably
close.
like 2 words shoved together, right?
Yes.
Like Dai and Zan. I don't know what those actually mean, but like strong killer or something like that.
Daizan in Japanese means great cruelty.
Great cruelty. Oh, wow.
So he calls upon the god of great cruelty, which is very
Interesting.
Ming.
Yeah, very much so. Did you know that this is the first actually iteration of Flash Gordon where like Mongo is a world with like moons? Because Mongo originally is just a planet, and all these different like moons are like kingdoms on the planet.
Oh, it's like a single surface.
Yeah,
or
it's a single surface, and all of these places that they're flying to are all on this same surface.
Wow.
Yeah, I found that out.
That's a big change.
Yeah, they changed that for the movie.
Well, on that interesting note, should we bring a rational transaction to a close?
Yeah, I feel like we've hit our natural conclusion. Thank you so much.
Or a rational conclusion.
Yeah, rational. Thank you to Dwy for the use of our theme song, Party for One. It's a fantastic song. Everybody should check it out on all available streaming services. If you've enjoyed our show, no matter what, if we're talking about Flash Gordon or not, we will always talk about Flash Gordon in every episode. I can promise you that.
As we did this time.
Yeah, as we did this time. Leave a review on whatever podcatcher you wind up using. It helps us a lot. Our one listener in the Philippines, I see you. I appreciate you.
Our one listener in Mexico, we see you. We love you.
Yeah, we see you as well. Thank you so much. Eventually, we're probably going to have to like come up with some sort of way to create an audience interaction, you know? Like leave a question that people can be answered and leave like a voicemail for people to call in and leave voicemails for us or whatever.
Ooh.
I think that...
That's very classic.
Yeah.
We need a PO box.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much to our benevolent and merciful fans. I've been Caleb Dirksen.
And I have always and forever will be Alexander Peters. And as we say at the end of every single episode, have always said, long live
Live
Flash.